And there I had lost my things because I was in a group. I had to work in another house to help the sick people there when alarm was, and I had to take those who could be transported into the basement and or help some who were sick that they had not fear or things like that. And most of the houses, one house where only young women with children, babies, newborns were, that was bombed, but that had no dangerous bombs, but only small ones to burn. And the house next to it, where the Red Cross school was, the nursing school was, they got phosphor bombs. And that was bombs burned. Burned when the fire was out and everything was wet. It was out. The next day the sun was shining and it dried, it started to burn again.
Oh.
So we had very lot trouble with those bombs because the phosphor burned, but when it got wet, it stopped. And when that was dry, it could burn again. So in that house was the room I had lived. And when I came back in the morning, when everything was over and the patients in the bed again and everything on its place, I came back to my house. There were only the water pipes hanging in the air, but the top floor was completely gone. And so there was my Bible. And then a time later, the whole hospital was out of the building chased by the occupying foreign military. And we had to use a schoolhouse as hospital. And in that schoolhouse was in the room where I just worked at first, a bookshelf. And there was a Bible. And well, before it was occupied from the hospital, there were foreign Greeks prisoners. And that house was full of bugs. You know, we had every week we had a special company come. Every bed was sprayed, every room, it had wooden panelings on the wall, and behind that it was full of bugs. It was awful. So we had moved all the patients together, and that in that house I found on the bookshelf a Bible. And there I started reading again, because now I had again a Bible. You couldn't buy it easily. Besides, we didn't get much money. We got, as the beginning nurse trainings, $5 in a month. We got the food and the room to live. Now, in that nurse training school was the office of the Red Cross organization, because I was a Red Cross that time. And while I was working there, not nurse training, just starting the training, I had to be given a work to clean windows. And I didn't think anything further than my work and my wish. I stood on that ladder and cleaned the window and sang songs as we sing them at home. And that were Christian songs. And I had no thought that behind that door are sisters working on office work, you know. And I out here on the window was trailing my songs. And there came a nurse out of the room and looked who was on the ladder. And then she said, "Oh, that sounds wonderful. Someone of our young sisters is singing a good song. I like those songs. Thank you for singing." But I knew the others didn't really like. Some were Christians, some not born again Christians. And then I found out that she has been a sister in Liebenzell. But in the work, she was put to work in the wartime as a nurse in a
Red Cross.
Red Cross in the war front. I mean in the war zones. And then from there she had been called back again for the office because they wanted her back in the office. And she was the one who talked often with me. And I often went to her. And we even did tricks to her, you know. We once put a whole bed apart. Oh, right. That's anyway. So then, at that time, she said one time to me, "Hey, what is wrong with you? You look so sad today. Why don't you come this evening after work to me?" And that was the time when she started to talk about Jesus and saying, "Is your heart open for Jesus?" and so on. And in that night, I accepted the Lord. And then I found out that the head sister is reading her Bible, and her second sister, her main secretary, is with her. They go together to church and so forth, and have everyday booklet that we have good church people and good Christians read every morning, a special word from God.
Like
And-
daily bread.
And then I was so fancy and looked in her room because I had to clean sometimes there. And I looked in her room if she turned the page to the next date.
So you can read?
And it was always the correct date where the bookmark was in or a little writing on it anyway. And she was afterwards the one who said to me, "If God called you, you have to obey." Yes. So that was it. And now let's pray and make close.
Yes.
Island people need Jesus. Jesus needs them all. Jesus needs island people to come when they hear his call. Island people need Jesus, and he's waiting